What's up, y'all? Jeff Anderson here with One Fish, Two Fish. Today, doing a YouTube takeover for Florida fishing products, and today we're gonna talk about how to fish a hard plastic. This is one of my favorite lures to fish with. Speckled trout, snook, tarpon, redfish, pretty much almost every inshore species you can catch on hard plastics. And this right here, these are my hard plastics that I like to fish with primarily. Today, we're gonna go over the general technique and how to fish hard plastics so y'all can get on that big old trout, redfish, snook. So what I'm gonna be fishing with today is the same technique that you can use for really any hard plastic. But today, I'm gonna be fishing my favorite, the MirroLure XL. And this right here, as you can see, we've got some more stout treble hooks to it. So with these hard plastics and the treble hooks, the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our drag is set appropriately. We do not want our drag to be locked down way too tight, because these treble hooks, you know, if you're catching a trout, then, you know, the treble hooks are just gonna, you know, pull out of that paper mouth for the speckled trout. We don't want it set too loose because we do want to drive the hook into the fish's mouth. So let's say a snook just comes up and destroys your lure here. So you do want enough drag so you can set into that fish. So I like to fish with a little bit lighter drag, just enough that I can get like a nice pull on it. So you don't want it too tight, you also don't want it too loose. The treble hooks will pretty much do their job, you know, setting the hook for the fish. You don't need to rip into a crazy hook set, especially when you're using treble hooks. Okay, so just the general technique for fishing hard plastics and MirroLures is we're gonna cast it out. And for MirroLures, the beauty of MirroLures is that you can fish them pretty slow. You can also fish them kind of fast. But the general technique is, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make twitches with the tip of our rod. And I have a little bit of slack in the line when I'm making these twitches. By having a little bit of slack in the line, we're gonna allow more of that erratic action that this MirroLure and your hard plastics are gonna produce. And that's what's gonna draw more strikes. So you want just a little bit of bow in your line. You don't want too much. So at each twitch, you do wanna reel down on that slack, because if you have too much slack, then obviously you're not gonna be able to set the hook into the fish's mouth. So depending on the season and depending on how active the fish are, that's gonna dictate how fast that we are fishing this bait. So in the wintertime, you want your twitches to be a little bit slower, about 3 to 5 seconds in between each. And that's when you're gonna get hit a lot of times, is on the pause. So it'll be like a twitch, twitch, pause, give it like one twitch. Sometimes you can even do twitch, 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 pause, twitch. So you can get creative, let the fish tell you what they want, but typically I like to go with either a single twitch or a double twitch. So again, that's just gonna be like a twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause. Sometimes I'll give it like a nice long pause, twitch, and that's where you're gonna get bit. Right there is on that pause. So when you get bit, you're just gonna reel down, and you don't need to rip a crazy hook set. All you're gonna do is just reel down and bow up your rod and just let the tension of your rod drive the hooks into the fish's mouth, because you got those treble hooks. You don't need a crazy hook set on that fish. So that's the general technique when you're fishing these hard plastics. So let's say the fish are a little bit more active, then that's where you can fish it a little bit quicker. Do twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause. And that's gonna give it like that erratic action. It's not gonna allow that lure to sink so much. These MirroLures, a lot of these hard plastics are either gonna be suspending or they're gonna be slow sinking. So these fish are gonna be keyed on, especially when you're fishing those mangroves. You're gonna be, you know, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch. And that's when you're gonna get bit by that snook or that big old trout. So just let the fish tell you what they want. Fishing a hard plastic is very versatile, it's very effective. Again, the profile of this hard plastic is everything that these fish are keying in on in all times of the year. This is like an ideal this is like an ideal meal for a fish, just like a smaller mullet. This is like an ideal meal for the fish, just like a smaller mullet. The profile of this MirroDean is amazing. So you guys get up out there, fish yourself a hard plastic, catch yourself a big old fish.